If it wasn't for the top interface, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you which one is which. Hey guys, a new device from Sonoff Elite has been released, and this time around is the POW, which I teased in my previous video about the TH Elite series, so this video is here if you're interested in temperature controlled relay. But today is all about the POW, and this is not the first POW device I've got from Sonoff. They're cool. Why? Because they have a power monitoring, and this is quite useful. I've taken the advantage of the power monitoring in a couple of my previous projects, including how to turn your dumb washing machine into a smart one that will issue you notifications when it's done. That's video in here. Or just creating a very unique power monitor for your printer, so you could add the cost of electricity to your final print, so you could get an idea how much does it cost you to actually print stuff in case you are selling it. That video is here as well. But today we're talking about the Sonoff POW Elite and, well, the new device, basically with the similar capabilities, because obviously it has POW capabilities and power monitor built in. Now, as this is an Elite series, you probably already noticed that it looks exactly like the TH. So it has a big LCD display on front face, it's DIN rail mountable, and the overall size is actually pretty decent. I already praised several qualities of this device in the TH video, so I'm going to reiterate it in here. First of all, I know some of the POW series had those annoying push-fit fittings. Thankfully we have a proper, really heavy-duty terminals this time around to secure the wire and not to worry about the wires accidentally slipping out and, well, causing shortages or disaster. So that's really nice. Obviously there's a LCD display that's going to display the power information, including a current and the voltage, and that's going to swap between every 5 seconds. But what's not so great about the LCD display is that it doesn't have a backlight, so if you want to read that information at night, you are out of luck. Obviously, this information is available in the eWeLink, so you'll be able to pull out your phone and read it that way. It's something nice that would have a button that gives you a bit of a highlight and creates that opportunity for you. As the device only comes with a single push button, there isn't really much to talk about it. You press it to toggle the relay state, and you can use this button to reset the device itself. Now inside, this is a still connected single channel relay, and you can get this in 2 different versions. Now there is a 16 amp version, something that I'm holding in my hands, and there is also extended 20 amp version in case you need a little bit more current going through your relay. Now, fortunately, the pricing isn't Elite, and you'll get to pay $16.99 for 16 amp version and $19.99 for the 20 amp version, which is actually quite reasonable. And just like other Sonoff devices, it links up with Wi-Fi using 2.4 GHz bandwidth because it has an ESP32 inside. And thank God for Bluetooth pairing because it's nice. We're gonna poke inside in a second. The Elite series is actually very easy to access inside. 4 screws keeping it intact, and once you remove them, it's quite easy to remove the PCB and access the gas. Now on the PCB, I already mentioned the ESP32 responsible for everything, so you'll get the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for pairing, and obviously if you're gonna flash this with Tasmota, you'll be able to take advantage of anything that ESP32 has to offer. Now, ITEAD made it great because they exposed the most needed pins, so you're gonna have the TX, RX, VCC and ground for your flashing, and something tells me that the GPIO 00 needed for that flashing is still linked to the bottom. It's not something I investigated yet, but sooner or later probably gonna be flashing Tasmota on it to check it out, and I will do a proper investigative work. Now, apart from these dev parts, there are a couple of extra dev parts being exposed, and those are most likely associated with the driver for the screen. On my board, there's also 16 amp relay. If you have a 20 amp version, I'd expect you to see a 20 amp relay instead. So, I guess all good. We can put it back together and pair it. Now, pairing I already mentioned the pairing is super simple. Select the Bluetooth pairing and you off to the races. It takes a couple of seconds to pair it, after which you'll get your device paired and ready to use in eWeLink app. Used with the cloud is quite fast and responsive, and as soon as anything is connected, it will start displaying the power meter data, which you can start monitoring. That information is available every 5 seconds. So if we're gonna go to eWeLink app, you'll discover all the functions associated with that new Sonoff POW Elite. First, there is a nice new redesigned card that allows you to toggle the relay and read the basic information about the power draw from this device without actually opening the device. It's very useful and handy because sometimes you just need a glance over this to get the information you need. And the data available in the eWeLink app, you're gonna read this. It's a power consumption kilowatts today, yesterday and month, and also current, voltage, and the power draw, the current power draw of the device itself. Well, not the device itself, but the device attached to that relay. Alright, simple enough. Now this is an eWeLink device, so it has the usual eWeLink features like timers, schedules and loops, so nothing new in there. But if you open settings, you'll get access to additional settings that correspond to this device in particular. By this point you're already probably familiar with LAN controls. They don't need much explanation. Basically allow you to control this device without having access to cloud or internet, so you'll be able to take advantage of that. It's lightning fast, very low latency, excellent. You also have a default power on state in case you have a power cut and you would like to specify the policy on that, and inching. But what's cool about POW series is that you have access to specific push notifications. Obviously on your mobile you'll get the information when the relay is toggled, if you want to, but you also can get notifications about reaching your either daily or monthly power consumption thresholds, so you can set those and get alarm each time you think that device is drawing too much power. That's interesting if you want to monitor how much power you want to use and get a notification about it. For anyone safety inclined, you have access to thresholds, which are useful, but don't get me wrong, those are not as fast as fuses, and you probably should consider fuses wherever possible to protect your circuit properly. But thresholds are the software, you can call them fuses, or software actions that will disable the relay based on the following conditions specified by you. This way you can prevent your target device connected to a Sonoff POW Elite from, I don't know, overheating or going over the prolonged periods of times and drawing too much current. It won't protect your device as well as fuse, but it is an option to keep your device extra safe. And while we're talking about the features, there's something I should mention about the power metering and logging. Now the device is capable of delivering a very steady input of data. Every 5 seconds you're going to get information, what's going on, how much power your target device draws, etc. However, eWeLink Cloud allows you only to log average output over an hour, which means you're not going to store all that frequency of updates on the cloud. You'll have to figure out another way of doing it, which is slightly annoying because, yeah, an hour frequency is all you get from eWeLink Cloud. I reckon for many of you that's going to be a sole reason to actually flash this with Tasmota and get a little bit more granular control over it. I wish people responsible for eWeLink change that slightly so you could have an access to more granular information for, let's say, for a week. After that it would get aggregated and available in 1 hour installments or 1 hour frequency periods. And lastly, we have smart controls, because obviously eWeLink integrates via skills with Alexa and Google Home. This way you can use your voice commands, which work quite fast, to toggle the relay state. Unfortunately, you won't be able to read or obtain information over the voice control about how much power your device is using, but, well, at least you get to control it. Something tells me I actually can tackle this in Node-RED, so if this is something you are interested, well, you know how to follow me now. Overall, this is an interesting device, especially a smaller form factor and a little bit more polish added to this series. I really like it. So if you're already liking it as well, in the description of this video you're gonna find a link to this so you could acquire it yourself, so feel free, go for it. At this point I really wonder what's gonna be the next device in Elite series and what we're gonna see from Sonoff guys next. But for now I guess we have to wait and see. Well, which gives me plenty of time to actually start working on Tasmota on this thing, because that's what's gonna happen next. I'm going to flash it with Tasmota, see what it's like, and share my well, impressions with it, and probably implement those features that I'm missing on both TH and POW in my opinion. So if this is something you are interested in, well, you'll have to know that I do not have a posting schedule. So you know how YouTube works, I'm not going to explain you that, but I've got a couple of social media, and if you really want to get in touch, ask questions and stuff like that, this is the best way to connect with me and keep the conversation going. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care!